as well as going now. So 5 red lights, and it's lights out and go go go. Let's go on board with Sam. See who gets a better start. It's definitely Sam who pulls away, gets an advantage. As you see Paul go up to P3, get on the inside, and as VR46 had to take the long road there, as VR46 gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting there, so that's very harsh. He'll probably move that, and so far a very clean turn 1. We'll see, as never mind, as Liam pushes him out wide there, and that puts him into P9. Liam, so like I said, I predicted 1 stop, as Liam now, Peanut goes down the inside, I believe, of Bennett. See if they can keep it clean. Who's also, as Bennett's on the medium tyre, so made good progress there. As he comes through now, as Peanut has now got that move further down the field. Owen and Predator's going side by side. Obviously Owen hasn't made the start that he wanted on his soft compound tyres. As he now goes side by side into Cops, I believe, and Owen does get the position there, and he is now going to P17. We'll see who win, as Alfie gains 4 positions on lap 1. So and Sam is the biggest loser, because his tyres is probably very cold. He goes down 5 positions. The same for Ellis. As he goes down more positions, I believe he's had an incident, and he's now dropped to the back of the field. So not ideal for the AlphaTauri driver there. We'll go back on board with Sam, as he has built a 9/10 lead and looking to get out of the DRS zone. With Smoke, it's just hovering between 9/10. It's now gone over a second. So early on the DRS zone, as Risk makes a move here on the mediums on Sem. It's coming through the final corner. Let's see if, as Sem hangs it round the outside, brilliant bravery from the Williams driver there. And is running outside, and he's been pushed off the track. And I believe Sem's got the position, however Risk is still there. Going to be down the inside for turn 3. Let's see whether he gets the move done. Running outside, and he does make the move stick there, and it's in P10 past the Williams driver, who hasn't had the best start, but Sam's going to come back at him. There's been another yellow flag towards the back of the field, but we'll keep on this battle for now, as Sam goes down the inside, as there's been more contact. Let's see if the bad Otter can make use of this. We'll try and spectate him, as Otter just managed to get ahead of Sam there. So Sam's now down 6 positions where he started in P6. So Sam, fortunately for him, going back through the field, as Sam now has a 1.6 second lead out in front. So he's definitely going to be controlling the pace. I think the battle for P2 is what I'm going to be most interested in, as Rocket Mad has stayed within the 1 second window of Smoke for now. So that'll be crucial for the 1 second window. As Paul also in just about hanging on into 1 second window of Rocket Mad, although he's just on the cuff, so he's going to have a really good couple of corners here to stay in the first 1 second window. Sorry, as VR46 after getting pushed right in turn 1 and getting a 3-second penalty, which is, I believe, very harsh. As he breaks away from the guys behind him too, as he's now a second ahead of Alfie. However, Alfie, on the medium compound tyres, the biggest winner out of all this, has been another yellow flag. I believe that is Morgan. Having tough time with things down in P20 where he started after getting disqualified in qualifying. However, it's going back on board with Sam, who's now got 1.5 second lead. We'll see if Rocket Mad in the DRS zone can get close. Not at the moment. However, he'll be looking to keep under the rear wing, of the Aston Martin. Paul just keeping out of the DRS zone. VR46 about to make a move here down the inside of the left field. Gets it done, I believe. As go through into Cotswold, they'll be side by side. Nope, doesn't seem like it. It seems like VR46 has got the move done into P4, possibly showing how the pace he did in Q1. Although Paul has got a better run out of Cops, so no, I don't think he'll make the move into Baggers and Beckett. To be quite silly to do that on lap 3 of the race. As we head now down towards the hangar straight, we'll go on board with the Williams drivers. Although VR46 has got the DRS of Rocket Mad, There's been another move as Peanut gets past Alfie, as Ellis is the first person to pick up a 3-second penalty from track limit warnings that he should have, as VR46 as Otter also follows that in the 3-second penalty train. So no real changes at the front, as Sam keeps a 1.6 second lead, as Peanut has the fastest lap of the race, going well in P6, as let's use Alfie's the lead, the ultimate strategy runner, so he's doing good to keep in the DRS of the soft runners. That's all he needs to do for now. and he'll capitalise later on in the race. So let's see what the closest battle is, as people are just going to settle into the DRS train possibly, as Sam's lead is now 1.7 seconds, so just extending the gap slowly, not as quickly as what it has been on previous laps. So let's go on board with Liam, as he's going to try and go down the inside of Alfie. I think he'll look to get this move done quicker than, quick for him, sorry, as he's trying to get past Alfie. He's on the medium tyres, he'll be the slower compound 4 now, and he wants to make use of the soccer mat tyres, which can go pretty far. They can go sort of lap 11, 12, as he runs a bit wide through cops. As the next battle, I believe, is Sam, who's on the back on. As Morgan's left the session, I will try and get him back in. So, second. Morgan, if you retire on the pits, mate, you can, but just please don't leave the session because I have to invite you back. So, if you want to, retire on the pits, then you can. If you want to come, if it's just disconnection, then you can come back. Although you are with your AI, you are now quite far behind the field. As VR46 has the fastest lap of the race, closing on to P3 of the battle between P3 of Rocketman and Smoke. So he's now getting induced in that battle. As Paul has now lost DRS to VR46. So we'll see if Peanut can get past the Williams driver, as he's taking the tighter line than Paul. So we'll see. He's got overtake on for now. I think he's going to stay behind the Williams driver just for now, as there's been a yellow flag. I believe that is Liam, who's possibly made contact with Alfie, as there's been more side by sides, as Owen goes down the inside of Liam there, and also that's Darren. Owen, who's made up 5 positions from his start position in P17, as he's now up into P12 and onto the back of Sen, who is dropping like a stone, unfortunately, in the session. So we'll stay on board with Owen, as he gets a lot quicker than Sam through cops. He's going to try and go round the outside of Max Beckers. Please don't do that, mate, as he's going to try possibly overtake him into the hangar straight. With another yellow flag, as Darren is also in the wall. Oh, I don't think he's out. It's Peanut goes up into P5 there. We'll go back on board with Owen and Sam, however, if he can, as Owen makes a move. Never mind, no he doesn't, he's still behind. As Protus makes a move on Liam there, who's dropping like a stone after that unfortunate incident, as he's going to come into the pits as well, possibly for a new wing, as Peanut sets the fastest lap again. So he's also up the pace, as he's got past Paul, I believe, unless that happened off screen. So let's see what tyres Liam goes on. I presume we'll go to the mediums, as mediums can go to the end, and also Darren, who I believe had a wing change, is going to go into the hard. So he doesn't trust that the mediums can go to the end, although I do believe they can. But Liam going for the safe option, and he's also got 5-second penalty, I believe, for his trouble, as he's not been let out. He's also going to get held by Darren too. So Liam having a bit of a disaster. So let's see what else is going on. As Owen, in the meanwhile, has got past Sam. So Sam dropping 6 positions, and now the medium tyres should be the quicker tyre for now. Legendary Danny, who had a solid Q1 session, however tried to get through on the mediums, didn't quite work, so he settled for this alternate strategy, as the gap in front has stayed stable at 1.7 seconds. The clear Smoke finds some pace, although I've just jinxed him, I think, as he's got a bad run at Max and Beckett, so all that allowed Rockamad to make a move into Stowe. He is gaining, I quite rare it not, so I think he's going to stay behind 4 now. VR46 keeping a close eye on this battle to see if anyone makes a mistake, as Elite Race has got past Otter into Stowe, as Peanut also gets a penalty for his travel, so that's a 3-second penalty for him. So let's see how that affects things at the end of the race. Not many drivers picking up penalties, which I guess is nice to see. However, if you do pick up one of the people that do pick up penalties, you are going to probably fall down the grid, as the gaps are very close because of the nature of this track and the DRS trains. So Otter's still keeping Risk in close company after getting overtaken, and he's one of the people with at least 3 seconds added to his name. As now go back on board with the tyres. Again, yep. So everyone's on 6-lap tyres apart from Liam and Darren. So we're now going board as a move for second place. Rocketman trying to get past Smoke. He's already done that. Gets through, I believe, into the left field and the corner before that. So that's crucial, as the gap now has gone from 1.7 to 2.3 whilst they're battling. So Rocketman clearly feeling he's a quicker driver right now, as we'll stay on board with VR46. As he's going to be looking to get past Smoke down the hangar straight and into Stone. That's as likely the most overtaking opportunity. It takes much tighter line than Smoke. We'll go on board with him to see whether he can get back through, or whether Smoke can re-attack Rocketman. Let's go. He's going to go try and go round the outside of the stove. Very brave man indeed. Cuts back. Oh, no. Rail Forces won't take advantage of that. And as we can get bored, as Morgan does come back, thankfully. Sorry, Mr. Pitter, a Smoke from P3 comes to the pits for a very early stop. As I believe he's the only person to do that. And now Fatari also comes in the pits. I believe. That's Ellis as well. So Smoke going onto the mediums for a very early stop. He's going for the undercut, as the undercut is very prevalent around this track. See how that pays off for him. As we'll go back to any battles. Otter's still getting very close to the back of Risk there, as he has a lot of ERS. You'll see he has more than Risk, though they have about the same. If anything, Risk has a bit more. So going through to Wellington straight, I don't think there's going to be any moves as for now. As meanwhile, Bennett on the back of Alfie has made some good progress. On the medium tyre, closing on to Alfie, who is still the lead alternate strategy runner. So, as the soft tyre people will start coming very soon. As we'll see another move, as Clock and Sem, I think Sem made contact with Clock, didn't really catch that in time. But Sem, as Rocketman picks up a 3-second penalty, which is going to be crucial for him. As Sem, as his day has gone bad to worse, as he got spun out in the formation lap, or spun by himself, and now spun in the race, and also dropped quite far behind as Sem pulls off to the side to let Morgan through, was Ghost Car through. Let's go back on board as Rocketman and VR46 going for battle here in P2, as Rocketman pulls into the pits, so and Peanut covering off the undercut of Smoke. We'll see if Smoke has gained any time. We'll go on board with him as Otto picks up another penalty, so that's 6 seconds for him. The crucial battle as Smoke just set a purple sector 2. I think the crucial thing is will Smoke undercut VR46 and also Peanut and Rocketman, the person I'm trying to think of, as they're going to go on the medium tyres to the end. On board with Smoke now. Let's see how much his undercut is gained on the Alpine driver. As the Alpine is about to come out the pit exit, will Smoke undercut him? It does indeed, actually, by quite a big margin too. Let's see if he's out of the DRS zone, as Rocketman, 1.7 seconds, so very good undercut from Smoke there, getting out of the DRS zone, as Sam will probably be looking to come in this lap, as he just want to get undercutted, as he has a decent lead, so, and he's also low on the DRS, so I would expect him to come in at some point. As he now goes from Magnussen Beckett's, it's a bit wayward, but he is now on 8 lap old tyres, as he has just have a 3-second gap on VR46, who probably has a time penalty removed, so that could be crucial at the end. So, going board to Sam, let's see whether he comes in the pits. He has expended a lot of ERS, so I presume that he will, and he doesn't come to the pits. So, as Smoke got quite a big undercut on the provisional race leader, as also VR46 also follows him. So everyone should really come in who's on the softs, I believe they are. So everyone will be on the medium tyres for now. So apart from Liam and Darren, who unfortunately had to go on the hards after early stops. So we're going to stay on board the Smoke. It's been a yellow flag as well. Is that Liam? I believe so. That is Liam making a mistake as Sam gets past his SLR teammate. As we now go back on board with Smoke, let's see whether he's undercut the race leader Sam and made a shock undercut. Let's see whether he has. I think Sam's going to get clear. Will VR46 though? That's the big question. Sam picks up a 3-second penalty. VR46 goes behind Rocketman, and he's not been. The overcut hasn't worked, but VR46 with a full battery, as fast lap as Ellis down the P17. But good to see that his medium tyres are going strong. So as Owen has also, so everyone's coming to the pits now, apart from Paul actually. As his battle for P2 for the lead alternate strategy runner, as Bennett put now from under a lot of pressure here, as Paul is the longest person to go on soft, has to go side by side to Magnussen Beckett between Otter and Riss sensibly backs out of that one, although Otter has now got back through into P4. as Bennett might get rid of Alfie here, as Alfie's using one more ERS than Bennett, and Bennett's going to use his ERS now, as he's not going to. I think he's going to make a move into Stowe. No, he doesn't, but he's still keeping the Alpine driver honest. As Paul should come into the pits, yes, he does. So he's going to have the freshest medium tyres of everyone. However, he's going to be undercutted quite substantially, I would think. Let's go back on board with the lead battle right now between Smoke and Rockamad. As Rockamad going into Stowe, as Otto picks up another penalty. That's 9 seconds now. As Rockamad goes round the outside, I believe for net P2 of this race, Rockamad, and it does actually make the move stick. So he's now into net P2 right now. As Paul comes in the pits for mediums, are we interested to see where he feeds out? As obviously, as he's also got penalty, I believe. Oh, never mind, his car just glitched. It's fun game. So let's see. I can't see his car. So I'll see what Paul comes out, I believe, in P15. So not ideal for him, but people obviously still need to make their stops. So Sam on the race leader. Let's see, he's going to get caught up in traffic. He has got the ghost car Morgan to worry about, so that should be fine for him. And then next is Moley, 8 seconds up the road. So I don't think he's got traffic to worry about. As VR46 pressuring LP Smoke for the net P3 in this race, as Sam has a comfortable distance now of 3 seconds right now. As Otter and Bennett going side by side. So Otter said they're going from Bennett going from attacking to the defense, as Otter puts a lot of pressure onto Max and Beckett, and Otter does get a bad exit. That will allow risks to have an opportunity maybe. As they're just trying to get just trying to break the slipstream. As there's been a yellow flag, and I believe that is Sen, who's having more nightmares in this British Grand Prix, but no moves made at the front in the alternate strategy runners. So I don't think he's going to win the battle too much, because I don't want to make the gap bigger than what it needs to be to the alternate strategy runners, as Sam does get past the ghost car Morgan there. So that is free position for him. He's up into P9 and net P1. BL46 still putting pressure on Smoke and Rockerman. Rockerman hasn't felt really under pressure from the Aston Martin driver right now, as Sam sets the fastest lap of 29.4, so going quite well there. As we head now through turn 1 with Smoke, let's see whether he can get past the Alpine driver and back into net P2, as he takes a pretty decent line through turn 3. It might set up a move down the Wellington straight. He doesn't get the best exit though compared to Rockamad, so I think he's just going to stay behind forward now. VR46 just doing the same. Close to battle on track leaves Otter again. So Otter's going to makes contact with the Aston Martin driver. He's going to go around the outside into Mags and Beggars again. Don't make contact, boys. Very, very good racing there from Otter and Bennett. Although Otter, I believe, does have 9 seconds of penalties, which isn't ideal. Yes, he does. So as Bennett here going to make a move for the lead on Alfie. He is low on the arrest, and so is Alfie actually. So Bennett on the inside of Stowe, no contact, and Alfie probably got a warning there. Into Valve, will he make a diving move? He won't. So Bennett takes the lead, although it's not going to be the lead after they pit, because they still need to make a pit stop. It's still good to be the lead in an alternate strategy runner. Let's head on to lap 13 now of his 26 lap race. So just at the halfway stage right now. Let's go on board the Predators. Predators going nicely. Started in P19. So we're just hanging on, sort of 4 seconds behind the lead train of the alternate strategy runners. He isn't in DRS, train, so that might cost him a bit of time down the straight. So literally Danny picks up his first penalty, a 3-second time penalty for the Red Bull driver, and the nice white special livery that's only available a limited time, but I definitely like the white Red Bull livery over the standard one, as Danny makes a bit of a mistake going into left field, although I don't think that will cost them any chance of position. So we're back on board with Otter, as we'll go on board with the battle for second place. Well, net P2, as Smoke has a lot more ERS than the Alpine driver, although that is to be expected because he's just sitting in the DRS and doesn't have to use any ERS to keep with him, as VR46 is still keeping these two drivers under strain. As now we'll go back on board of Otto, he might try and make a move. Stowe, no he doesn't, as this guy's still stay in formation as Otto does run wide, as I believe Alfie tried to bait into the pits there, but stays out, as I would expect. I should now see as someone comes to the pits actually, believe that's Clock. So he's going to be the first person as Smoke and Rocket Man going side by side. As Rocket Man does so far keep the position, so he stays in P11 and net P2. As Clock comes into the pits on to lap 8, so he's going to go on to the set of medium tyres. Sorry, so the soft tyres from the mediums. He's going to be the first person that also stretch runs to pit, so he's going to want an undercut. Clearly inspired by the undercut that Smoke had. So as Clock's going to come out, I believe, in P16. So a lot of time to gain for the house driver, but still going strong. Owen, who started P17, having on to Paul, was one of the early people at the front. So Owen from P17 seems to be going well so far. See if there's any more battles going in the field, as Rocket Mad gets past actually Morgan's the ghost car, so he shouldn't cause much trouble for these guys, so they can get through nice and easy. As Legendary Danny is quite close to Risk, yeah, as he makes a bit of mistakes, I'll say that. So yeah, Smoke is trying to get past the ghost car of Morgan, so we'll see if there's any moves going into turn 1. Yes, there is. Alfie trying to retake the lead from Bennett, and he does so successfully, I believe. Yes, he does. And he now goes into P1 and actually pits off that, so he's going to be the lead person in the pits, and Bennett just follow him as they make contact into the pit lane. Unsure if that gave Bennett damage there. I'd be really unlucky if he did, as VR46 plays Morgan fairly easily. So I hope that Bennett didn't get wing damage. We will see. He does. As Sam gets another time penalty, and unfortunately he is on seconds and last at the moment. So it does appear that Bennett gets away damage free and doesn't quite undercut the, you know what I mean, a jump ahead of the Alpine driver. So there's going back aboard the race, who's now possibly trying to get past Otter. He now has not got DRS assistance and has 9 seconds worth of penalties. As Clock gets past Molly, I believe, although Molly might have pitted himself, he does. So it's also doesn't to bear in mind that Clock is actually undercut Bennett, who was about 2 seconds behind, so Clock making use of the undercut there, and he might try and fancy something on Alfie as he has more ERS than the Alpine driver. As Alpine driver tries to get out of the slipstream, as Bennett goes starts in behind in P15, and so going board with the lead runners. As Smoke is trying to get past, still on the back of Rocket Man. There's a yellow flag. I believe that is Sam, who might have had an incident again. He has indeed spun at turn 1, so I think I'll save his blushes and won't spectating for the rest of this race. As Darren trying to get past Liam, although they're in P18 90, still going to see them having the battle. As Darren goes down the inside into start set 2, so good move from Darren there. Although they're battling for P18 and P19, still good to show that they're still racing. As Predators, I believe, gets past Risk, although Risk might have pitted. Risk does pit. As he's seen that these guys have made an undercut on him, but he will have a fresh set of softs. See where Risk falls out in this. On board the Risk. I think he's going to come out possibly behind Bennett, P15. I reckon that's where he's going to be, but we'll make sure. As Peanut picks up another time penalty, and that's 6 seconds for him. So let's see where Risk comes out, and will he be ahead? Or if Bennett? I think they're going to be side by side. Going into the middle sector, who will go out on top? I believe it's going to be the Ferrari driver just. Although Bennett sends down the inside, they make contact the round wheels. As Bennett and Risk go side by side, they still push wheels, so very aggressive racing. As Risk actually picks up a time penalty, possibly been forced off the track there. So we'll see whether he used that. As Risk goes around the outside, as Liam retired from the session, that is in the pit lane, I believe. So I don't think we'll see a safety car from that. As Sam was also left the session, although I will invite him back so he can retire in the pit lane. As I believe there's going to be a safety car, and Bennett just get ahead of Risk there. So Otter, unless you're down doing battle, Otter might have made a mistake there, going into the style. Didn't quite catch that, but him and Legendary Danny are going to go into the pits. So Predators following. So no, Predators is the last person to pit on Ulster's strategy. He's going longest on the medium tyres. As Sam still comfortably ahead, as Peanut's past Rocket Man, I believe, or the Rocket Man might spin. He does. Rocket Man's had to spin into Stowe. Possibly contact another driver, didn't really see. So Rocket Man, who was in net P3, is now into P10, so not ideal for him. Let's see where Legendary Danny and Bad Otter fell out, as Otter needs to probably make some moves, as he is on 37 penalties right now. I reckon he's going to come out behind Bennett, but we'll see. This battle of the soft runners get really intriguing on who can get ahead of each other, so let's go on board with that. As Bennett possibly trying to get past the clock here, as he looks to be the one for Henderson. As made a bit of contact with Riss there, so Riss possibly pushing him a bit harder than what he should have done. So because of that, Bennett gets a compromised exit, but Riss, I think respectfully, doesn't try and make a move. As Alfie's also passed Rocket Mad, past his teammate into P8, so Rocket Mad not doing very well there. As VR46 and Smoke going side by side into Cops, this is for net P2, and VR46 just about gets ahead, but they're going to go side by side into Maggots and Beckett's as Spoke does lift off there. So good awareness for him not to have a crash. So let's see if he can make a move again down towards the Wellington Straight. Sorry, Hanger Straight, sorry. As he actually stands off his DRS, he doesn't want to make the move right now. He knows that VR46 has a penalty, so I think that he is going to stay behind, although I do believe that penalty will get removed at the end of the race, but he doesn't know that right now, so he's going to just stay behind for now. The next battle on track I believe is going to be Clock, as Rocket Man gets another 3-second penalty to add to his woes. As Clock's going to go around the outside, he gets pushed off the track slightly. Rocket Man does manage to hold position for now, he's in P9, as Riss and Bennett going battling again, and Riss actually got past the Aston Martin driver. We'll see if Bennett can re-challenge, or Riss might be going to attack again onto Clock. So I think Bennett looks more likely, as Ellis picks some of the penalties, that's 9 seconds for him. As we're saying, ball on the strategy running, so we're definitely catching the guys in front, as Alfie is catching Owen for P7, he's gained, I believe, 10 positions before he started. Let's actually have a look at that, if I can. Yes, so Owen has changed, gained 10 positions. The Clock, Rocket Man going battling again onto lap 18. As the Clock goes around the outside of Rocket Man doing a very good job to help his teammate. There's another yellow flag. I think that's Darren, sector 1. Might go side by side through Cobbs. Let's see whether Clock hangs around the outside. He does not. He backs out sensibly and trying to make him move on the hanger straight. But Rocket Man is doing a very good job to help his teammate, to help Alfie pull away from the rest of the guys who are on soccer pan tyres and looking to take advantage of the alternate strategy. As we'll stay on board the Clock, as Predator does finally pit, as he's the last person to go onto the soft tyres. So he's going to do a very short stint on softs, but he'll be very fast at the end. As there's going to be no moves made for now, I believe, around the field. So Predators will come out probably behind these guys, but he'll have a lot of fresher tyres. That's going back on the battle for P2 between VR46 and Smoke. As also picks up another penalty, so that's 12 seconds for him. So not ideal for him if he wants to finish on the points. And Predators does indeed come out. I believe he might come out in P16 behind Morgan possibly. We'll see actually. Right, quickly can get on board with him. As Moley does get ahead, so Predators has a lot of time to make up. He has a lot of fresher tyres. So battle with P2. As VR46 does have a 5-second gap to Sam, who has had a quite quiet race, but controlled and managed and didn't really have any issues. So as we're going back on board with Smoke, let's see whether, as the gap between him and Peanut is 3 seconds as well, so I don't think there's much to worry about in terms of that. So these guys will be battling out for second place and who finishes where on the podium. As we're coming through now into the hanger straight and towards Stone. Let's see who has more ERS out of the two drivers, as VR46 does have more ERS for now, which is not ideal for Smoke if he wants to make an attack, but I reckon he'll wait towards the end of the race for now. As Owen is the biggest leader right now, he's made up 11 positions from race starting in P17. That's very good for him. I'm going to check, so I forgot to check chat, so apologies. See what chat have been saying. As literally Danny picks up another penalty, so does Ellis. People picking up penalties. So let's see what the next battle is. As Otto picks up another penalty, so I believe that could be 18 seconds penalties for him. I don't mind, that's 15 for him. But however, Otto, despite getting 15 seconds worth of penalties, does have the fastest lap now. As now, let's see if Smoke can make an in-race on VR46. He isn't for now. The closest battle we're going to see is this battle for P8 with Rocket Mad As Alchemed's actually got closer to Alfie here, surprisingly, even though he's on the soft compound tyres. So we're going to see a brilliant battle for, as there's a yellow flag. I believe that's for Moley, he might have made a mistake. Possibly. As Ellis now tries to go down the inside, or actually, might be Otter actually. Otter has fallen down a couple positions, as Risk now got past Clock into P9. So that's good progress for him. He's going to try and make a double overtake, going possibly around the outside of the Stowe, but no, Rocket Man does cover that off. So we'll see if we can make him with that on the hanger straight. This is the battle for P8. These guys both having time penalties, so Bennett and Clock do know this, so they're going to be sitting back and possibly looking to gain position at the end of the race. So just over 6 laps to go, as Paul gets past Peanut here onto P4, as Peanut does have penalties, but Paul looking to possibly catch up his battle into P3 of Smoke and VR46. As we head on to lap 21, Sam just has an under 5-second lead, so he context courtesy won't bottle this, as a new move on board, I believe, of Modi and Predators. The Predators on this fresh soft compound tyres, sorry, is through into P15 and looking to gain more because his drivers will have penalties. As we head now into battle of P5 of Peanut and Paul, so you'll see whether Peanut can get past Paul for a position where overtake him. As Risk gets time penalties, that's 6 seconds for him, so he's now level with Rocket Mad as he's driving definitely the limits of the track, which is good to see, as he's a bit out of shape there going to left field. Let's see whether he can make a move into cops on Rocket Mad. He's a lot of battery to play with, and he's going to go down the inside. Rocket Mad does give him the squeeze, but just about gives him enough racing room. They're going to go side by side into the old turn 1. Let's see who gets out on top. Risk with the inside, don't crash the Hamilton and Verstappen. As Rocket Mad does run wide, but they're still side by side, keeping it fairly clean. Always to make more contact, but Risk does get through in the end. Very ballsy move for the driver, as Rocket Man just picking another penalty possibly because of them going side by side. But let's see if Risk can make a triple overtake on this lap, trying to get past Alfie into Stowe. He definitely has more ERS. He's going to try and go around the outside into Stowe. It's a brilliant overtake on Masterclass if he can, but he keeps he might make a move to Vale to make a dive. He doesn't, but he stays behind Alfie for now, as Rocket Man goes steaming down the inside, possibly making his missing his braking point, and hits the back of his own teammate, and he is now spun round into P14. So that's not ideal for the Alpine driver. As now back on board with Smoke, VR46, the gap is a bit bigger than what it has been the previous lap, just over 9 tenths. So possibly VR46 flexing muscles maybe. Because the gap between him and Sam has stayed the same, so I reckon he's picked up the pace a bit, but because Smoke has DRS, he is able to stay in just in the clutches of VR46. So I say that, and he makes a mistake here, so that as also meanwhile Risk does get past Alfie going into Luffield, so that's position gained for him, as Owen is catching up to the back of this battle for P4, but let's stay on board with Smoke, as he's now, the gap is now 3 tenths of a second. There's the yellow flag. That is Darren off at turn 1. I don't believe that's a retirement. So we'll keep focused on this battle for P2, as Smoke possibly gaining. So he's definitely looking to the inside of Stowe, but he doesn't quite get it, as Otter's now was 18-second word penalty, so him getting points is very unlikely, fortunately for the Alfa Romeo driver, as VR46 does hold his own despite that little mistake going just before cops. So the next battle, I believe, is going to be, as Bennett picks up a penalty. That's 3 seconds, so that might cost him points, as Clock and Alfie ahead of him don't have penalties. So that's going to be crucial, as Ellis gets past Otter. I believe Otter's retired. I think he retired in the pits because he knew his penalties. As Elite Risk, that's fastest lap in P7, so he is going row. As literally Danny, I guess another penalty, so that's in P9, so again him getting points probably is unlikely. Considering he has more penalties than other drivers, but he's still going to keep going. Since Otter's now retired, so he's going to score points with his 18-second worth of penalties. As we go back on board with a battle for P2 again, as there's been another yellow flag, and that's just the AI of Otter, sorry. As we go through into cops, VR46, and the gap is now 6 tenths, as Rocketman picks up another penalty, so he is now on 15 seconds, so at one point he's looking to score a podium, now he's not even going to score a point, so fortunate for him, as Also, Rocketman, I believe, made a spin as well. So he's now, there's no front wing, so he's definitely not going to score points. I'm not sure whether he made contact or he just spun. So that's unfortunate for him. He's now through. Well, not through, he's now down to P15. As Peanut making the move on Paul here for P4. Just about keeps ahead, going to Stowe. So, as Rocketman also retires from the session. He retired on track though, so it might cause a safety car, although there is only 3 laps to go. So I'm not sure whether this will. And I don't believe it does, as he goes straight on at Cops. So whether that's intentional or not, Rocketman is out of the race. So Peanut, although having 9 second penalty, still feel like you have a battle with the guys of Owen and Paul. See if Owen can get up into P5. It'll be a brilliant drive from P17 on the grid, as Modi's getting past Ellis here. So I think Ellis is into the pits for a new set of tyres and possibly a wing change. I hope he's on a new set of mediums. So he's now in P14 and definitely will score points. See Owen, yeah, brilliant drive from P17 on the grid so far, getting 11 positions where he started and possibly looking at possibly a P4 because Paul could go past Paul and Peanut with his penalties. It would be a brilliant drive for the McLaren driver. Let's see any other battles as Clock still wants to get past Alfie, who made the good decision to go for the undercut, although his tyres will be the most worn out of everyone. As Darren picks up another penalty, however he is now I believe a lap down, and unfortunately won't be scoring points for him. However his teammate is possibly looking to go on the back of Paul here going into Stowe, and he doesn't quite make the move done. So, and also there's been no change at the front. Sam now has an over 5-second lead and has a healthy amount of ERS and is still going. So BR46 follows him in P2. Smoke very close behind still, and now actually has more ERS than the AlphaTauri driver. So just over 2 laps to go, or 3 laps to go. Let's see if anyone can make more positions. As Owen possibly getting distracted by his teammate on fresh stock compound tyres as he's trying to unlap himself. So I'm not sure if Darren should really be doing this, but it's his choice to how he wants to drive. So as the battle for P7 is still going on, as Alfie has managed to keep going with race, although he did set the fastest lap earlier. I think he still has it. As Clock possibly making the move. No, never mind. As these guys are still following tandem battle for P7. Let's go back on board with Smoke, as he is possibly looking to get past VR46 on this lap, so he can break away on the final lap. So let's give on board this battle for now. Going from Max Best and Chapel, what he gain on the AlphaTauri? He doesn't gain too much. If anything, he loses time. So he's going to need a mega straight line speed and lots of ERS use if he wants to get past this lap. So VR46 definitely has a cover for now. So as Sam about to start his final lap, a very controlled drive, and must admit a very professional drive as well. So yeah, so Sam starts the final lap as well as everyone else. So driver of the day, I'm going to go with Owen, because Owen has gained 11th position from P17, and despite not being on the older strategies as everyone else, he's managed to make the soft to medium tyre work. So I'd say Owen's definitely my driver of the day. Although Sam has been very good out in front, he's going to be a close second. But my driver of the day is definitely going to be Owen. So VR46, as also VR46 in the meanwhile has got out of DRS of Smoke, so that basically guarantees that there's any mistakes. There's been a yellow flag. See who that is? I believe that is Bennett round. So I believe Bennett trying to get past could have been Clock, as Alpha picks up a penalty. So that's going to allow Clock to gain another position. He's going to be up into P7 as long as he doesn't get a penalty himself. So actually Clock could be one for driver of the day too, because he's gained quite a few positions, I believe. Let me check. Check. Okay. Yeah, he's gained 7 positions. So, and that will soon be 9. So Clock's also had a very good drive from where he started on the grid. I believe in P16. No. As another, any more battles through the field? Let's have a look. I don't believe so. As we're going board to Sam, as he's driven a very professional race, controlled the field, and in the end, Sam takes a comfortable and very assured British GP for Red Bull. So brilliant 25 points there, Sam. As VR46 comes across the line in P2, but we do believe he does have a penalty, but we do believe that'll be overturned. So VR46 will finish P3, P2, sorry, spoke P3, Paul P4, and P5, Clock with no penalties P6, Alfie P7, Peanut P8, Risk P9. Bennett does get P10 in the end because of Danny's penalties as he finished just outside the points. Moley P13. Afraid actually goes ahead of Danny. Moley P13. As Morgan P14, although his AI competed most of the session. Ellis P15. Sam, who had a very miserable race in P16, and same goes for Darren in P17, although he did get the fastest lap. So that your winner then is Sam, and your P2 I believe is going to be VR46 after penalties get removed, and Smoke, LMP Smoke, who closes on the championship in Rival Van Dorn in P2 or P3 in the end. So hope you enjoyed that. Me doing a commentary on my own, it was quite challenging, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys have a good evening. I'm going to invite the drivers for driver interviews, and we get to see what the drivers have to say in the grid. So hopefully they'll join soon. Hello. When you guys join the party, if you guys could select the tick box to say that your audio is included, if you guys are here. And also, if you want to mute the other two in the party, that's fine. I don't know if they're talking or not because I've muted them myself. But can you guys hear me? That's
Hello.
the important thing.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So make sure to tick the box to make sure your party is included. I will invite 46, or if you guys can invite him too, because he hasn't joined yet. So, yeah. Sam, you hear me? Just confirm you have a mic.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll invite VR46 again. If he doesn't join, then we'll have to just do you two. Invite him again. So, if he doesn't join, then I'll start with you, Smoke, because you started as you finished P2. I'll start with you. Hopefully he joins. He just sent me a message. Let me have a look. It said mic doesn't work properly, so unfortunately we won't have an VR46 with us. But however, we'll start with Smoke. A brilliant P2 for you there. Had a good battle with VR46. How do you think the race went for you?
I think it went as good as it could, really. Sam obviously had the pace over everyone, so P1 was kind of out of the equation. But just went around. VR had the penalty, so I just sat behind him. Didn't want to take any risks. I was on two one-ums myself, so just sat behind him till the end of the race. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, something I will add is that VR46 will probably get his penalty removed as he got unfairly pushed at turn 1. So I do reckon he'll get that second place back. Just so you know, I don't want to ruin your P2, but unfortunately I do think he'll get that penalty removed if he can. So congratulations on P2, but I do reckon it'll be P3. Something also, do you think the alternate strategy runners were much of a threat? Because I thought the alternate strategy was gonna be a bit more powerful in the end. It wasn't to me.
I expected it to be stronger than it was. I thought they were going to be right honest, but there's just no sign of them at the end.
Yeah, I think that battling too much between themselves was costing. So, thank you, Smoke. So we'll go on to our race winner, Sam. Very much controlled the race and qualifying too, getting Q fastest in Q2 and Q3, obviously. So, how did you think you controlled the race?
Yeah, I mean, it went quite well. I got probably the best start I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't an easy race. I was flat out the whole time because Smoke and VR behind me were both so quick. So any little mistake could have cost me big time. But yeah, it went as good as it could have, to be honest.
Yeah, so like you said, you always felt a threat, but did you ever feel like you're going to lose a position? Because it felt like the gap was extending every time I went on board with you guys. It went to 5 seconds in the end. So if you, from my point of view, it seemed like you controlled it, but if you went flat out, then that's fair play to you. You know. So there isn't really much more to ask you. How with qualifying? Did you feel like you could have gone quicker on qualifying, or did you feel that your 26.7 was the most you could do?
I thought the lap was nearly perfect, apart from the final couple corners at that chicane. I
Alright,
had
yeah.
too much of a lock up. I went a bit too deep, so I think I could have found about a tenth more. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was enough for pole anyway, so I'm happy.
That's fair to you. Thank you guys for racing. Doing commentary by myself was a bit more of a challenge than what I thought it'd be. But thank you guys for giving us a good race. Tomorrow will be Division 2 and 3, so make sure you don't miss those, as I'm sure they'll be as entertaining as the race we just saw. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for the drivers that well done to Sam and Smoke for getting on the podium, and everyone else that got involved. And I'll see you guys. Well, for me, you'll see me on Sunday for the McKean division, but for Division 2 and 3, you see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. I'm gonna end the stream, boys. If you want to go, it's up to you. Well, you guys can go now because you guys are done.
Cheers for
Thank
streaming.
you for everything. It's alright.
And congratulations, Sam.
Yeah.
You were very quick.
Have a good one, boys.
Yeah, I'll probably see you next week.
Cheers.